Freedom is staying open to the source of life that wants to flow through us, the life that we are. To stay true to this is to continually empty ourselves, the parts that want to cling to external forms, to fill us, to make us feel like something, to make us feel good, to make us feel worthy. These are called projections. We may project onto other people as lovers. And when we do this, we are opening ourselves up to the love that is naturally inside us. We are projecting that onto another. And as long as we feel that is being reflected back, we are happy. We are ecstatic because our own hearts are open to love. And that love is flowing through us. And we are joyful. And we feel connected. This is a beautiful state to be in. But there is a difference between when it is coming from projection and when it is coming from a pure state of choosing to open to love, choosing to keep the heart open to life, to the flow of life. Choosing to keep the heart open to the flow of life comes from a very centered and connected place. The back of your heart is open to the spaciousness, the nothingness, the fullness of the universe, of Source. And it is so full in its emptiness. The fullness comes from the current of love that is the energy signature that we feel when we are connected to this place. It is the place of no mind and non-grasping to form. It is a letting go to feel that we are a part of everything. This requires us to look inward, to look back, to look out through the back of our hearts into the universe, to Source itself, and to resource ourselves in that emptiness, in that fullness of the universal void, the source of all abundance, the energetic flow, the great river of life that flows through us into the manifest world. So when we are looking out into the manifest world, into the world of form, we are looking through the eyes of this love and this beauty that is resourced from within ourselves, deep within ourselves, from our own source. And when we look out through these eyes of love, everything is love, everything is vibrant, ecstatic and alive. And then we can feel and find love and beauty from this point. And we can look upon pain and grief with compassion, not with a need to rescue or change, but simply to hold in love that which is living and that which is dying. This world of polarity in which all is present and unfolding in its purpose and in its place. When we are not connected into that source, when we are not resourced in our own sense of love, then we are coming from the personal self, the ego self, the personality structure, which is not the soul connected to source, but rather the insecure personality that is looking out into the external world to resource love from that place. And the sad part is that it can never receive it from that place, because it can only be received from source itself, not from the world of form, which is a projection of source out into the world. We can certainly learn about love through this process, and if our heart breaks enough time, and if we continually see that we cannot resource love from this place, then at some point we may give up trying, and we may turn inward, and we may turn our eye toward the real source of love within us. And that is a very personal moment of finding the love, of allowing it to touch you, hold you, and wrap you in its eternal embrace. And you know from this point that there is no need to project onto others for that love any longer. So love coming from the personality that is not connected to source, that is not connected to this infinite well of love. Although it feels beautiful in the beginning, because it is still a choice to open the heart to love, there is this expectation that the flow from the other will come back and fill the heart, and this does not happen as we expect. We become disappointed and disillusioned with that reflection, that source of love that we receive. And then we often blame the other as having a fault, having something wrong with them, as a reason why we did not receive the love that we were seeking. But the truth is, we are looking for love in the wrong place. And yet the choice to look for love is beautiful and noble, even if it is in form, even if it is in relationships that involve projection, because it is through this process that we learn to open our hearts to love more and more. We learn that through the heartbreaking, our love expands. Our capacity to hold love expands as we emerge from the heartbreak and continue to choose to keep our hearts open to love. So that choice to continue loving in the face of heartbreak, and that journey of relationships, is the most beautiful and excruciating journey that a human can take on the path of love. But ultimately it arrives at a point where we are sitting alone as a point of existence, in space, in emptiness, knowing that the projection out of love needs to fold inward, needs to be sourced from a much deeper place within us, within our hearts, within the universal heart, and through our connection to source energy, to all that we are.